The Power Pod is an exclusive WSB radio production.
The sidewalks aren't built to have somebody ride something on them. And people, I mean, we've had friends that have fallen on their face and busted it up just by riding, hitting the little divots in the sidewalk.
You're having a couple drinks, a couple strong margaritas in Midtown, and then you're riding a scooter.
Well, I fell off the scooter, honey, and I wasn't drinking. I just didn't know what I was doing.
This is The Power Pod with Randi Okray, Christina Aicklen, Nicole Bennett, and your host, WSB's Jared Yamamoto.
Yeah, that's right. You're listening to the Power Pod, and I am Jared Yamamoto from the Von Haessler Doctrine. You can listen to the Von Haessler Doctrine every weekday from 9 to noon on WSB Radio in Atlanta. And the Power Pod is a show where I come on and I try to give you a weekly recap of what's happened during the week. But you know what? I don't do this by myself. I come on here and I have some fun, but it wouldn't be the same. They call us the Charlie's Angels of podcasting and radio over here. You've got Randi O over there. Randi O, how are you doing?
I'm feeling fantabulous, Jay Reddy. How are you?
I am great this week. It's great to see you. And I see Nicoleo over there. Nicoleo, how are you doing?
Hello, I'm good. I was actually going to say for Halloween we should be Charlie's Angels.
I'm with it.
Yes.
All the way with it.
Perfect.
We have gotten that from several of our wonderful Power Pod listeners that we are the Charlie's Angels of radio and podcasting, and I really like that. I think that's a cool concept. And look, she's not giggling this week, but she's making all these faces over there. That's Christina Aicklen over in the corner. Christina,
what up, J-Rad?
how are you doing this week? What's going on with you?
Giddy up. Let's do this thing.
Hey, it's going to be fun. And for all these new listeners that are just joining us, the Power Pod is a weekly recap show where we cover the current events of the week. It's a show where we're not afraid to get serious, and we're not afraid to have some fun, too. And welcome to the second week of June. I can't believe we're already basically in the midst of summer here. I love it. I think everybody's in a good mood. Mm-hmm. There's been a lot that's happened this week, though, and we have to go through some of it. That's part of our job as a weekly recap show. Our listeners demand us to go through some of the things that have happened this week. We had a solution to the Mexican tariffs. Trump threatened with tariffs, and basically Mexico said, we're not gonna fall for that. We don't want to get in trouble. And Mexico's ambassador had this to say about it.
It is not like the National Guard of the U.S. It is a police force.
So they sent 6,000 troops to the border with Mexico and Guatemala to help curb the immigration crisis. Many in the Trump administration are calling that a victory. We'll have to wait and see how it goes long term. Another big thing that's happened is, and I know every time I mention Joe Biden, Nicoleo over there just gets red every single time, but there was some Iowa political madness earlier this week. We had dueling rallies on Tuesday between both President Trump and Joe Biden. Here's Biden talking first.
4 years of Donald Trump will be viewed as an aberration in American history. 8 years will fundamentally change who we are as a nation.
And the bickering continued.
I'd rather run against, I think, Biden than anybody. I think he's the weakest mentally. And I like running against people that are weak mentally.
Now, before you get mad, those rallies, I think Joe Biden brought up Trump 74 or 76. I can't remember exactly how many times, but somewhere in that range. So clearly, Joe Biden has his strategy. He's the front runner, and he sees himself going after President Trump at this point. President Trump sees Biden as the front runner, so we've talked about this before. We know that this is going to be a long process, a long primary process. There are others gaining momentum, but until they get within a close range of Biden, we'll say that Biden right now is the complete front runner. And I see Nicole getting red over there. She's loving it. She is loving every bit of Foxy Joe.
Sultry tones.
just making her red over there, enjoying Joe Biden leading in the Democrat primaries. The other thing that happened, too, here locally in Atlanta, you have a new $1,000 fine if you drive or if you ride those e-scooters on the sidewalks in the streets, which is absolutely ridiculous. I promise you we're going to get to it. And also, the city of Alpharetta, which is just north of Atlanta, banned e-scooters, which I am outraged about that, but I promise you we are going to get through this. We're going to talk about this. You know what really outraged me this week, probably most of all, though, was back on Monday night when there was so much drama on The Bachelorette.
Sometimes I look at you and I'm like,
Yeah, I could totally see you as my future husband, and then sometimes I look at you and I don't think that there are any ways that like lead to what I want. Like what I really want. Like I can't give you this race.
And Jared, she's just looking for love.
She is okay. I'm going to say it. I'm going to be politically unpopular. She is not that attractive. I don't understand what these. There have been way prettier bachelorettes in the past, and they've had way better personalities than this one.
But Jared, so you don't like her either, Christina.
Yeah, she's ridiculous. I've never seen. Obviously, the show is full of drama, and it's a good thing because it's enticing me. I'm the moron that's actually sitting there watching it. I know Tina watches it too.
You can't not watch it. I definitely watched it.
It's a train wreck. And even, come on, for the ladies that are watching this, I don't know if Nicole and Randy are watching this or not, but even I've heard rumors the men are not that attractive in this season too. So I don't know.
They're not that cute.
I don't know if they're slacking or what, or what's going on. Randy, do you watch the show at all?
I used to, but I didn't watch. Stopped watching after Rachel won. I kind of fell off. I felt like history was made, and I was no longer going to watch. Just keeping it real.
Well, okay, that's fair. I mean, I think that, perhaps the show has run its timeline, but then you see the ratings, and I mean, ABC's getting good ratings out of it, so clearly they know how to keep the train wreck growing. But
you know what I do love about it, guys, is doing the gender face swap via Snapchat.
Oh, yeah.
On the TV screen. It is hilarious.
Well, and I think the men are worse than the women are. I mean, they are so catty to each other. I think that in the era of time that we all live in now, we've lost the ability to communicate to each other because of phones and because of just this online world that we live in. I think that's why a lot of men are generally criticized as being quiet in our times, especially millennial men. They're kind of criticized for being quiet, and I think that's why we live in this world. Whereas women, I mean, they've always kind of been out there and they voice their opinions, whether it's on social media or not. But I think that men are getting quieter is basically what I'm trying to say. Nicole, I know you've got something to say. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, going back to the Bachelor franchise, I think what they have done well is set up spinoffs like Bachelor in Paradise. Because I have so many friends now that say they only watch The Bachelor or Bachelorette to find out who's going to be on Bachelor in Paradise. It's like a fantasy football type where you're setting. People do like fantasy drafts now with The Bachelor. And so you have to know your players and do your research. And that's why they're watching. It's genius.
And I do love Bachelor in Paradise. Now, I love to watch. It is so funny.
Almost more popular
but you guys watch it for the train wreck, though, right?
I hope people actually will get find love. I mean, people that didn't get picked, I hope they get find love. Like, people have found love on there. They've had, been on the TV shows talking about their relationships. So,
Randy, I feel like you could go on that show.
I think you could, too.
I definitely submitted something. Just put it up.
Oh, my.
That's right. They want to try to fool with the kids.
Hey, when you get all big and famous, you let us know about it
please.
and give us some love on there. Which, speaking of giving us love, oh my gosh, last week we introduced the Power Up badge, and I had people texting me, calling me, reaching out on Facebook, emailing, just trying to figure out, hey, how in the world do I get the Power Up badge? And I said, look, we just wanted to give the listeners that are being awesome out there. They're out there. They're sharing our content.
Mm-hmm.
They're telling their friends about the show, and we wanted to give something to these to our wonderful fans that are doing that because we love you for doing it. And one listener, Stephanie, actually wrote me an email, and our email is powerpodwsb@gmail.com.
Yes.
And she volunteered to make physical badges for these fans.
What?
So
nice.
So we just have to go through WSB management and figure out if we can do that or not. But I think it's awesome. I mean, Stephanie, shout out to you for reaching out and wanting to create actual things. I mean, maybe we'll create stickers or something like that. But I think that if you earn a Power Up badge, it's a badge of honor. And there were a couple of honorable mentions that we didn't get last week. So if you are just tuning in for the first time, there were a lot of people that we mentioned last week. We're not going to go through the whole list again, but we got some more that we wanted to add up this week. So, Jason, thank you for being an awesome Power Pod fan. Courtney, thank you. Chris, thank you. Carla/Carlita. Intern Georgie, never gave him love.
I
know, I miss him already
I
this
love
week.
him.
I miss him this week, but he gets 2 this week. He's been sharing the show. I know he's doing well. And then Randy, you gave me this one, Shoddy Poo.
Shoddy
Poo. Okay, I'm not gonna ask you questions as to who that is, but you know what? We'll give him Shoddy Poo. Shoddy Poo. I like that. So. You can earn your Power Up badge just by sharing our content, telling your friends about it, and make sure that it's visible for Nicole, Randy, Christina, and I, so that way we can give you some loving out there.
Yes, we love love.
And we kind of started the show today with talking about train wrecks, with the Bachelorette and whatnot. And I know, Tina, that your first story is a train wreck, and I need all of the explanation possible because I still am trying to understand what's going on with it. So tell me, what's going on?
So this week, via Instagram, our girl Britney Spears, love her to death. Like childhood, all through childhood, love her. But we've seen her in a couple of strange videos claiming that the paparazzi have altered her photos.
Hello, and please don't judge me. I look haggard right now. But my question to all of you is, a lot of fans in our world today, they always are subject to really criticize people and say that the pictures and videos that they're posting are either not on time or they're fake. But no one ever really asks, are the paparazzi pictures fake? And do the paparazzi people do stuff to the pictures? And is the news really real? It's a conspiracy theory that I'm actually interested in. Yesterday, I went swimming. I look like I'm 40 pounds bigger than I am today. This is how I am right now, and I'm skinny as a needle. You tell me, what is real?
Conspiracy theory.
A needle, sis.
Skinny as a
Stop
needle.
it. Stop.
So just to give you guys background, I'm sure you're aware, she's been in and out of a wellness center. You can tell by scrolling through her feed that she's going through something. There's definitely some life stuff she's going through. But these photos were taken while she was on vacation. So she should be nice and relaxed, but she doesn't seem so relaxed in this last clip you just heard. So,
have you seen her eyes? I mean, that's usually the tall tale sign when somebody is really struggling. And Britney had the history. I mean, she shaved her head. What was that, 2008 that she shaved her head, or was that even before then?
I think it's around that time.
Yeah, around that time, the late 2000s, she shaved her head and went through an entire image transformation during that time. Yeah, mental breakdown. And so she's notorious for it. And one of the things that was brought up was that she doesn't have a regular schedule, and that's why she's, all thrown off mentally, which sounds kind of like she's off her meds. And Britney, I just don't understand what else she has to prove at this point. I mean, she was, not a rock star, but she was a huge pop star during our lifetime. And I don't think she has anything to prove at this point. I mean, she looks
good.
I mean, right. She just needs to put out another song, a new album, and just, girl, just shout out to your haters, okay? Like, she's way too consumed with the media. Like, you know what you signed up for, so, like, shake it off and let's give us some good music.
And that's
she had her show in Vegas, her residency in Vegas.
Yeah,
that was a big hit.
right.
So she's kind of checked off the list in a sense, right?
Focus on getting better at this point and maybe just step out of the spotlight for a little. That's what I would
Bless
do.
her heart.
Yeah.
I know, I feel bad
and to
for her.
Randy's point, I mean, the second you jump into that celebrity arena, I mean, you're going to get haters. I mean, that's just part of how it is. People are going to critique your look. They're going to critique how you sing. They're
Get
gonna
you in your worst angle. They're going to try to exploit you.
Yeah, in any way that they can. So, Brittany, I hope that you're doing okay. I had to bring back this clip because this has been a long time since we've heard this one.
Leave Brittany alone! Oh, please.
And I couldn't agree more. Leave her alone, and we'll be right back here on the Power Pod.
The Power Pod on WSB Radio. Join the show at 800-WSB-TALK or leave a comment using the open mic feature on the WSB Radio app.
Yeah, you know what? People need to leave Britney alone. No, I didn't identify exactly who that was. This was a Britney Spears superfan that said this way back in the day.
Leave Britney alone!
And, people just need to leave her alone. She needs to ignore the haters and not allow ourselves to fall into the celebrity news cycle, for lack of a better term. And Randy, what you got over there?
Yes, well, in other news, okay, ladies, these are from my ladies. Shout out to my ladies.
Yeah, girl.
Okay, girls, aren't you tired? Well, before you girls were taken, but you were dating these men who were whack and lame, and they didn't know how to date you, didn't know how to court you, they didn't even know how to do your body right. Well, guess what? Say what?
What?
Okay, yeah. Well, there's this male love robot who could possibly replace men for good, right? Cray, yeah. So basically, it's this new thing. It's a robot. It's a man. He looks like a real person. They make him this kind of skin that feels real. He has a facial hair, and they even program him to have a personality. He has a story. He can have some communication with you, and he has private areas. OMG. So what they're saying is that, he's going to be better for you than the real thing. So, ladies, I may have to.
Randy.
Sorry, boo. Let me try this robot out.
All right. Hold on. Let me put a damper to this. Come on now. Evolution says that you guys. They said so. The headline is that it's going to replace men altogether.
Yes.
Yeah, but how are y'all gonna have babies though? You're gonna still want to have babies at some point, right?
It's called in vitro.
But if they're replacing the men, I get it. Well, look, Jerry, I didn't say all that. Now, dang.
I know. I'm just saying that. When people say it's going to replace men,
stuff,
or what'll happen is all the sperm that is stored.
Stuff.
We'll get rid of all these men. We'll just take that stored sperm.
Just put you guys underground somewhere, and when we need you, we'll let you know.
So it's going to be like so what is Earth going to become like some female only colony or something like that? Is that what it's going to be?
What's the island in Wonder Woman?
The Amazonian women.
Yes, exactly. Okay,
that's where we're gonna go, guys.
Yeah, but who's gonna kill the bug for you guys when there's a big bug up on the ground?
Robots can do that.
You just program him in there.
You got to program his personality to kill bugs.
Program number 26: kill the roaches.
Okay,
there you go.
What if someone breaks in your house and you need somebody to protect you with the baseball bat?
Program him to get the baseball bat.
Yeah, this robot is not gonna know what to do in those circumstances. There. See, I have a completely different take on this. I think that if anything were to be replaced like that, I think that a female sex robot would be the first one to replace women because, man, we don't want to deal with the nagging.
We don't want to deal with y'all bad breath and y'all farting all the time and you just being nasty. So what?
So what if we want to watch football on Sundays, or if we want to go out late?
Watching football
like Nicole
Sundays.
said, go to the dungeon and watch your little
dungeon.
Yeah, we want to go out on Fridays, and we don't want to be nagged. We're hanging out with the boys. Now we have boys' nights like that. We just come home and our sex robot's there waiting on us.
It's a great. We'll hang out with our sex robot boys toys at home, okay, and everybody's happy. You be with your boys, I'll be with my robo man.
Yeah, but come on, no. Everyone knows that the toys just don't quite do it the same way as
Jared,
the natural human flesh. I see.
Have you tried it?
I see everyone looking around here. I see everyone's looking around. They're like, yeah, Jared, that's so right.
We didn't
have
say
some
that.
truth to that.
You can ask Nicole. She's newly married.
We could get a Joe Biden version.
Yeah, can you program like a John Mayer
I'm
robot?
kidding.
Wow. On that note, we need to process.
Yeah, I like it.
We need to process all this information and take a little breaks because it's
Jared's getting excited.
It's getting hot in the studio right now. Everybody needs to cool off. We'll be right back.
From Atlanta to beyond, it's the Power Pod.
Man, I just had to get a hose and douse everybody down in the studio. I mean, everyone is just out of control in here. You talk about a male sex robot that could replace men for good. You know what? As the minority in here, as the only man in here, I am offended by this. So, Nicole, save us with another story.
All right. So, switching gears a little, we have a doctored video of Mark Zuckerberg that got posted just maybe a few days ago now. It's put Facebook to the test.
How so? What's going on with it?
So it's one of those deep fakes, which is a doctored video where they manipulate the person's words, motion.
Oh, yeah.
It looks real. It's bizarre. Now, I would think looking at it, knowing it's a deep fake, I could probably point out, oh, that looks contrived or that's... But think about just scrolling through your Facebook feed and seeing him say what he said, which was bizarre.
Imagine this for a second. One man with total control of billions of people's stolen data, all their secrets, their lives, their futures. I owe it all to Spectre. Spectre showed me that whoever controls the data controls the future.
Sounded very like 1984 to me. Yeah. It's like apocalyptic almost.
Yeah, so we've seen these doctored videos for a little while now. I think that there's been a couple with Trump in the debates with Hillary back in 2016.
Right. Well, and last month there was the Nancy Pelosi video that got posted. They slowed down her speech. She sounded drunk. She sounded like she was slurring her words. It sounded so real. And people thought she was, hitting the bottle a little bit before she went out to speak. So
So what are we supposed to do about this? Because, I mean, this is going to we're all guilty of mindlessly scrolling through our timeline, our Instagram feeds. And when you see these videos, a lot of times there's no context to it. So what are we supposed to do as users? How are we supposed to detect this stuff?
Interesting is the Facebook spokesperson came out and said, we're trying to find a balance between freedom of expression. So what they've tried to do is cut back on distribution. So somehow they're controlling how often it shows up in your news feed.
Okay.
That's what they're trying.
What, are they only sending out to stupid people? Is that what's going on?
That's what's so bizarre to me when I overthink this.
You and Randy have got the unique ability where you guys are you guys work in social media, and you guys oftentimes have to filter out. When there's bad fans to any of our brands here. That are being not irregular, but they're
ridiculous.
they're being ridiculous. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They're out of control, and you guys have to filter it out. Who's to say that a video like this doesn't come down the pipe, and you guys don't get a chance to listen to it and go through with it?
Right. Well, and you think about things like the Momo challenge that came out a little while ago.
Right. Yes.
Not even a real thing, but it went viral. It's insane what people buy into just because it gets shares and engagement and retweets.
But I think it goes back to being like media literate or social media literate. Like you being able to know, okay, this is not real. From even people think everything you see on Instagram or social media, that is their person's reality. So I think, some people are going to get it or going to believe it, some people are not. You can't really fix that.
We all get the shared Facebook posts from great aunt, so-and-so who
don't know.
You know the worst thing, too, is when you have to explain to people, especially, again, we love our baby boomers here on the Power Pod, but the excessive sharing of politics.
Oh, my gosh.
But by that generation, I've just gotten on my personal Facebook, I have just completely avoided it altogether. Occasionally on my on my business Facebook page, I'll occasionally get political on there. But man, when I see grandma getting political on there, or I see somebody else's aunt or uncle getting political, I'm just like, oh my gosh, I really don't want to see the latest Joe Biden meme about how good or how bad he is.
Don't start with Nicole.
Or the AOC stuff. That was a big one. The Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez from New York. You see all that stuff popping up left and right. People hating on it. So I wonder how we're going to educate the older generations on this type of content, because it's hard to see. If you haven't seen this Facebook, this Mark Zuckerberg video,
it looks real.
It looks really real.
Well, to that as well. It's the same video with Herman Cain and my granddad. Well, my papa, hey papa, he sent it to me and he was like, I can't believe he said that. Right? He's like, oh, did you see? I said, Papa, that's not real. They got his words and they just different takes and they merged them together to make it look like that. I said, yes, Papa.
Was it like
this
that
is not
one
real.
parody account that did? It was like
where he was saying that crazy
lip dubs.
stuff.
Herman Cain, by the way, a great WSB personality
and
a former boss. Love Herman. So
but I know exactly what you're talking
my
about.
Papa thought he was really saying it. I'm like, no, Papa. So we just got to tell him.
The only thing I'll say too about this particular video of Mark Zuckerberg is maybe in a weird way, it shed light on the issue of deep fakes, the threat of a deep fake video, and sort of put them, like the headline said, to the test. And what are we going to do about this?
Yeah, you're right.
Because now your founder is falling
We just
victim,
have to be smarter on social media, folks. And for the generations that have not been exposed to social media as long, we need to help them and walk them through it. Sit down with grandma, sit down with even mom and dad, and just let them know, hey, this isn't real. And just help them out, because it's a scary thing. These things look really real. But boy, I have a story that really hits me at home now. This is here in Atlanta, and I'm fired up about it because I use the e-scooters all the time. I use Bird, Lime, all of them. You name it. There's, I think, like 70 different companies here in Atlanta that you can use now. And I was outraged because first came earlier in the week, I think it was Monday or Tuesday, Alpharetta, which is a suburb of Atlanta just north of us, decided that, hey, we're just going to ban these e-scooters altogether, which, that tells me? That tells me that if I ever wanted to go to downtown Alpharetta and go and explore it and try to go somewhere else from there, I'm less intrigued to do it now. I'm going to go to a city that has these types of scooters out there. And the other thing that happened, too, this happened on Wednesday night. The city of Atlanta is going to impose a $1,000 fine for people riding on the sidewalks. Now,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Like
That's
we're off West Peachtree Street here in Midtown Atlanta, right in the heart of Atlanta. And have you guys tried riding a scooter on these streets?
I actually did for the Mark Aram show, and that was scary as hell.
Right.
On the street?
On the street, girl. I tried to do the sidewalk, I had to cross
That
the
would
street.
terrify me.
So it was a little dangerous.
Yeah, people are crazy out there.
So, like,
they don't
is
care
the-
about you on that scooter.
The main reason to take them away is because people are just abandoning ship
people are getting
on the
hurt.
sidewalk, and people are breaking their necks.
And getting hurt.
Yeah, because, I mean, the sidewalks aren't built to have somebody ride something on them. And people, I mean, we've had friends that have fallen on their face and busted it up just by riding, hitting the little divots in the sidewalk.
You're having a couple drinks, a couple strong margiritas in Midtown, and then you're riding a scooter.
Well, I fell off a scooter, honey, and I wasn't drinking. I just didn't know what I was doing.
You pressed the brake
So
button.
there are innocent folks out there, innocent e-scooter riders. And I just feel like, they're ruining a great thing because I know that on Ponce, for example, which again, still Midtown Atlanta, when you're going down it, the bike lanes are a wonderful way to use the e-scooters.
Absolutely.
Especially if you're trying to get, from anywhere from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. You're trying to get to Ponce City Market and you don't want to take an Uber, hop on a scooter. They're everywhere. It's so easy. And I just feel like with all these regulations, they're starting to really crack down on the beautiful thing. I'm outraged. Are y'all outraged about this?
But I just want to say, like, maybe we should do like a protest to counteract it. So, like, if you guys are going to say we can't be on the sidewalk, well, then build more bike lanes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why can that be the caveat to that? So everybody's happy.
Atlanta needs to work on that. It would be, and even it's a great city. Let's make Atlanta great again. Seriously, though, I wish that it was more geared for public transportation, biking, things like that.
With all these people moving here, we should. Yes.
Well, you know what that initiative is called? It's called a complete street, where you have it has walking ability, it has scooter/biking, and also is car friendly as well. So there are other areas of town that are starting to implement that, but it's not going as fast as people would like. But I think the more and more that we see these e-scooter accidents, I think that there could be a real problem with getting these complete streets through. So people, while you're out there on your e-scooter, be safe. But Tina, what you got over there?
I have got a really high-rising story.
Literally.
And ladies, I'm kind of going to pitch this to you. No offense, Jared. But I'm going to pitch this to you. And this article talks about the rise of granny panties.
Hey.
And I have a personal story attached to it because I work in the lingerie business. And I can tell you right now, my sales in high-waisted brief panties are up. And this article kind of goes into talking about everyone we love, from Rihanna, Riri.
Hey, Riri.
And Lady Gaga are proud to show off their grannies.
I think Beyonce was seen too.
Beyonce too.
Was seen wearing. But okay, so the photo of Rihanna, which I think what came out it was an Instagram post that came out in late March. And that's what really set off this trend.
Not exactly grannies.
Not exactly. Yeah,
those
for
are
sure.
Like boy short, cute. Like she looks hot as hell. I mean, she looks great.
So are you guys just trying to be comfortable now? I mean,
in my opinion, it's part of that, hashtag Me Too Me Too movement. In that, we're not afraid to wear what we want to wear, and we're not going to let a man tell us what to wear, because you guys assume everyone's wearing a thong, and we're just not.
Well, as a straight male, let me add this to this conversation. When things are getting spicy and the moment is right, and we're getting to that point, I don't think I want to see granny panties.
Would you love to see some high-waisted brief?
Would you want to? Okay, all right.
Yes.
So let me counter with this.
Here we go.
What if whitey tighties came back in for men? Would you exactly? I see Randy's face right there. Yeah, exactly.
I love whitey.
I do.
Hell
I love it.
no.
Yeah, you're lying over there, Nicole. Don't you lie about that. It's just
Not
the
at all.
same kind of thing here. Would you would want to see?
Not that I would want to see, but it's
what,
not gonna,
high socks and whitey
how does
tighties
that
on men?
How does that define if I'm going to get freaky?
Well, for some people, the second they get to that level, they're
Jared, that's interesting.
The women's under with thongs are very nice in many cases.
So you're trying to say, thongs turn men on, but granny panties turn men off, just like you think women are turned off by whiteys, whatever.
Yeah, whitey tighties.
Tighty whiteys.
Yeah, tighty whiteys, exactly.
Why not? For me personally, I don't really like I don't really like briefs unless you got the package. If you don't have the package, you need to wear you some boxers. This is me personally. But I think granny panties, like this day, Jared, and anybody else, my male listeners, there are a lot of cute design granny. They're not the whole period panties is what I call them. They're not the
Right.
ugly ones. They're sexy.
It could be fashion trends, too. I was thinking of that. We wear a lot of high-waisted clothes now. I think about maybe in the 70s, 80s. It was more low-waist jeans, bell-bottoms, things like that. So
I think that what's going to happen, though, is it's going to be like that mom jean trend that happened. I don't know. What was
Jessica
that?
Simpson
the
was in it.
Levi's.
Yeah, that was what 5-6 years ago now.
That was
and that was a complete bust. I think that this granny panty thing, Rihanna could wear anything and look good in it.
Yes.
And Beyonce falls in that same category. And to an extent, Lady Gaga, too. They could wear anything and look okay in it. So I think that this trend will not live very long because we all know why you guys wear seductive underwear, and that is not only
feel
for
sexy.
It's however you want to
exactly,
feel.
Exactly. Randy's
That's
right.
it,
To feel sexy and
Right.
also
And nothing else.
to please
Nope.
whoever else is with you guys at
it's
the
to
moment.
feel confident in our
Yes.
skin.
Right.
because I know
And sometimes you
frankly,
have-
most
sometimes-
men I've talked to don't care about lingerie.
Right, they like, take it
if I'm
off,
being
girl.
honest.
What's
Yeah,
that?
they
Take
want
it
what's
off.
underneath.
Hey, girl.
Right.
Sorry, Dad. I'm
Says a
so
married
sorry.
woman. Hello.
Oh my God.
Thank
And
you.
on that note, while Nicole's dad regroups and all the other listeners regroup, we'll be right back on the Power Pod.
The Power Pod on WSB Radio. Join the show at 800 WSB Talk or leave a comment using the open mic feature on the WSB Radio app.
All right, for all those people out there, I promise we're not going to talk about any more male sex robots or any granny panties anymore because it's time for Randy's Rundown!
It's Randy's Rundown.
Alrighty, guys. So who wants a armoret? Oh, sour. Yes. What am I talking about? Guess what? Here it is. It is a pop-up cafe filled with live rats. And it's headed to San Francisco this summer.
Why is this a pop-up and why is this happening?
That's gross alert.
Yeah, no thanks. I prefer the Mardi Gras pop-ups and I prefer the Christmas pop-up. So let's stick to the things that work. What's next?
Next, okay, our girl Stacey Abrams. She meets with film industries arguing against boycott of Georgia over the abortion law.
You know what? I've been really hard on Stacey Abrams on the Von Hessler doctrine.
You have, Jared.
And I have to commend her for this. Thank you, Stacey, for actually fighting for Georgia in this case. She has not been putting Georgia in the best light until this moment, and I'm proud of her for actually going out there and trying to keep Hollywood here in Georgia. What's going on? What's
Shout
next?
out to my Radioheads. Where you guys at? Here's what's going on. Radiohead is going to release stolen music for climate campaigners.
Yes, I think that so their server, their mini discs were actually hacked with old music, and they're just like, okay, well, you know what? Instead of paying the ransomware for it, forget it. We'll just release it out to everybody. So good for Radiohead for putting it out there. It should be nice to listen to. What's next?
Listening to festivals. We love festivals. Well, guess what? Woodstock Anniversary Festival loses sight in the latest setback for a troubled event.
Don't go. This is going to be Fire Festival 2.0.
Oh, man.
Already you had the top funder for the festival pulled out a couple months ago. Now they've lost the site, which I think is Watkins Glen in New York. This is not going to be good. Don't buy tickets to this thing. It's going to be an absolute bust. What's next?
Alrighty, for all those little snotty-nosed kids who does not like to eat their vegetables, guess what? Kraft introduces salad frosting to help trick your kids into eating more vegetables.
Nicole and Christina, you guys your faces say it all right there. Look.
I'm sorry, what?
Honestly,
am I dreaming?
It's really just like ranch.
Oh,
in a
okay.
cute
I
little
was going to say,
squeezy
is
tube.
it sweet? 'Cause I don't need sweet on my broccoli.
Yeah, they're trying to encourage
What's wrong
kids
with
to
dressing?
eat a little healthier instead of eating all the bad, frosting and all the sweet stuff, right? You know what? Let's try it out. Why not? It might be fun. It might be fun to have in your pantry. Try it out. Everyone's got a little kid in all of them. I think it'd be fun. I know you guys are skeptical, but you know what? Randy and I are on board with it.
I'm with it.
We're going to buy it both. But what's next?
I'm also with Keanu Reeves. Hey, Keanu. Okay. So Keanu Reeves was blown away by fans' reaction to his E3 appearance.
Yeah, they're calling him the internet's new boyfriend.
Okay, but let me tell you, the feeling of being there, of walking the streets of the future, is really going to be breathtaking. You're breathtaking. You're breathtaking. You're all breathtaking.
Thank you, Keanu.
Thank you.
Keanu.
So that the Scarlet, what's it called? Project Scarlet, I think is what it's called. The new Xbox comes out in 2020. I know I'm excited because I so love video games, and I'm so little kid with my salad frosting. What's next, Randy?
Okay, yes, Jared. Okay, with your salad frosting.
Little baby.
The moon. Everybody go to the moon. Guess what's happening on the moon?
What's going on?
There's a mysterious, large mass discovered on the moon. It bewilders scientists. Whatever it is, wherever it came from, you know the rest.
Maybe the Chinese put it up there because they're the ones that sent the most recent probe up there, and there are talks about a new challenge to put other things up there. But what is this mysterious thing? We'll just have to find out the next coming weeks. What's next, Randy?
Guys,
What?
you know what the weekend is. You know what's happening this weekend, right? Happy Father's Day to all these wonderful men out
Happy
there.
Father's Day to all the wonderful fathers. We're so glad that you support us and made all of us, and we're happy to be here with all of you guys. Y'all want to say a word to any of your fathers real quick?
Oh, Dad, I love you. You're my hero, and I just love the heck out of you.
Shout out to both my dad, hey daddy, and my stepfather, Steve-O Burrito. Love you.
Hi, Dad. I love you 3000, which you'll get, and I don't know if a lot of other people will get. If you're an Avengers fan, you will get
just
that.
figured that was
So, yeah.
And Joe / Old Pops, I love you. I'm going to be seeing you very soon. We're looking forward to it. You know what we do at the end of every episode here, and even the dads can put their hands into. We know what. Come on,
Dad,
put your hands
put your
in
hand
here.
in
Put
there.
your hand in
And
here right now. We're all putting our hands in the middle, and we do this every single week here on the Power Pod. We count down from 3. So 3, 2, 1.
Power Pod!